Hi, we're here in our recording studio making some movies we're going to use in our marketing. We have a break though right now, and I just wanted to take a short moment to share some thoughts that I had the other day about friction and leadership. So how does those two go together? Well, when I started to become a sports teacher way back, one of the things we studied were biomechanics. That included what makes airplanes fly, and part of it was also friction. And I learned that friction is the resistance. When you try to move an object on a surface, there's friction. And that friction is always biggest right in that moment when you start. Then you have to work against the friction to get the object moving. So how does that apply to your leadership? Well, here's my thinking. There's definitely a time for rest, rejuvenation, and there's a time for reflection, and there's a time for decision based on that reflection. Then, once you get going with your team, there's a great importance in being aware of friction. Because even if we make a decision, sometimes it's easy to start doubting oneself or the team or the circumstances, or get stuck in conflicts that we don't handle right away, but they lock us, they tie us down. Or we start procrastinating, thinking, I'll do that tomorrow, or we'll do that later, and we lose the momentum, and we get caught by the friction. So to be aware of that every time you need to restart yourself or your team, you got to work against that friction. So it's better to keep yourself in motion. Keep yourself moving, you and your team, the whole time. Even if it's just a small step forward, one more little thing on your to-do list, something you're doing towards your goal or where you're going in life or in your work. So the next time you stand in front of your team or in front of the mirror, be aware of how friction is affecting your leadership, because starting yourself and your team from that point of where you've stopped, that takes quite a bit of energy, and energy is quite a precious resource both in the world and in ourselves as leaders and teams.